See my bad side, baby, you'd be terrified of all the secrets you were wishing. Cause I know about my life. Oh, I know I feel at home whenever you friends be mine.
Yes, so Hairless here. Today is Valentine's Day, so we have Valentine by Pentatonix. This is a cover of a song by Jessie Ware and Sampha. I've heard both those names, but I don't know them. I don't think I could name any of their songs. So I went to listen to the original song because I didn't know it, and I must say it is quite strange. I put it on when I was cooking, and after 2 plays through, I wanted to turn it off because I found it a bit jarring. But my hands were messy, so I couldn't turn it off, and the next thing I know, I've listened to it 7, 8, 9 times in a row. It's weirdly mesmerizing, and it is so interesting musically. I'm just going to show a couple of brief clips to try and explain my thought process going into the Pentatonix cover. So the introduction. What are Pentatonix going to do here about that? It's so high, so disjointed. They can't feasibly do that, so whatever they do has to be different. And then we have the opening melody.
So will you never be my lover or my Valentine?
I can see this being very Pentatonix actually. I naturally think of Kirsty, but I also kind of think of Mitch. I can see Mitch singing this. And then also Scott. I feel like this is Scott's style. Or maybe Scott for later on, because when Sampha comes in.
Like a fly far away from here.
Completely different type of voice to Scott, but he sings within the same ranges that Scott is comfortable singing in. I would mention some more things about the original song, but honestly there are so many that would be its own video in itself. So let's just leave it there. I'll leave a link to the original song in the description if you're curious and don't know it or want to hear it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try and predict what I think Pentatonix might do because honestly I have absolutely no clue. We've learned that we should always be surprised with them, and especially with this song, I just have no idea. Whoever came up with the arrangement must have had something in mind, because to me this doesn't seem like the type of song where you hear it and think, oh, that would be good for an a cappella arrangement. Yeah, I don't think anything else needs to be said. It's just a very strange song, and I don't know if I'm completely mesmerized it or in awe of it, or if I'm not a fan of it. I believe music in general definitely has the power to affect people in a more metaphysical way, where the mental reaction to music can't be studied physically like we can other things, and this song definitely caused some reactions going on up here. My intrigue is great. Let's get straight into it.
So will you never be my lover or my Valentine? Never be a friend of mine, never see my bad side. Baby, you'd be terrified of all the secrets you were wishing you will never find. It's deep inside me, and I don't wanna hide me, 'cause I know about my love.
Go on, Mitch. So this is the moment in the original when Sampha comes in singing, so I guess it makes sense for Scott to take over the melody here. But wow, crazy arranging. Go on, Mitch. Yes. No Kirsty on the melody, but I think, yeah, it is perfect for Mitch really, now you've heard it. But yeah, this arrangement, such creativity and ingenuity, if I can use that word. And the introduction, let's go back to the opening, because I have a sneaky suspicion of something. Right, I listened a couple more times, focusing on each part once. Avi, Scott and Kirsty, they each have their own line, and the lyrics are so, like, let me quickly write the lyrics out here and show something on screen. Right, so each individual part has its own line, which makes sense by themselves. But they're clever because none of these lyrics exist in the original song lyrics, which are here. In other words, Pentatonix have created these lyrics and the words, but they've exclusively used words that are in the original lyrics. I've highlighted them in red here. We have a couple of exceptions in please, and O that Avi says twice, but it's the O sound. O, as in the word O, and then O of okay. We don't have okay or O anywhere. And I love how each of their lines has a completely different meaning as well. One second again. Alright, so let's assume that they're all speaking in second person. Scott is saying that he's terrified, which is bad. Kirsty is asking you not to be terrified, which is medium. And Avi is saying it's okay to be terrified, which is good. I guess we could say that they're kind of talking to each other, but as they're all singing at the same time as each other, I like to think that each line is completely individual, and that it's therefore these conflicting messages that we're hearing right from the off, which causes confusion, and confusion is probably something that's quite common when it comes to the world of love. But the one thing that they do all have in common here, or share, is the word terrified. And to exaggerate it, it's the first time we get homophonic singing. Up until this point, the music's been very complex rhythmically. We've had syncopations, disjointedness, unexpectedness. So now they're giving us the safety of homophony, you know, safety in numbers, seeing the same word at the same time in the same rhythm as each other on the word terrified. It's quite ironic. Sorry, there's a lot to say about this first line, but then to further add to the irony from a musical point of view, the notes that they're singing on terrified are these two chords, ending on that scrunch chord to really keep this tension. If ever there's a way to grab my attention from the start of a song, this is it. Alright, I think that's enough in those opening few seconds there. Oh, I forgot, they're also singing in the same key as the original as well, so everyone's at the same pitch. So what happens next? Mitch enters along with Kevin, and then suddenly we have this mad counterpoint going on.
So will you never be my lover or my Valentine? Never be a friend of mine, never see my back.
Kevin's beat is a bit reserved, it's not too overbearing. The syncopations between each part actually give quite a bit of rhythm as it is. And Mitch's melody here, it's another kind of Carol of the Bells moment. There's constant movement without apparently the need for Mitch to breathe. And he's so fluid, switching between his chest voice and his head voice and back down. And I like as well how Kirsty, Scott and Avi are singing the exact same thing that they did in the introduction. You know what, to show you this visually, and you can follow along if you want, cue Sir Hairless from the future, I'm going to just transcribe this. Alright, Sir Hairless from the future here. I've transcribed just the first kind of introduction bit and a bit of Mitch's opening melody as well. If you can't read music, don't worry. If you can, then please try and follow along. But visually, you can see how kind of disjointed all the parts are and how there are all these rests in between, breaking them up on an individual level and as an overall level. And then when they kind of come together, like these moments on Terrified and Don't Be So Shy. Not gonna lie, it definitely sounds better in person than in the music software. And then to completely contrast that, we get these nice little chordal sections. The other parts here, so everyone except for Mitch, just have one note. They don't move or change. And I like what Scott does here. If you listen out for him, his note is... We have this crescendo, but he goes one step further. He just suddenly cranks up the volume. I don't know if you heard that. Let's listen again. It almost sounds like a mosquito buzzing in your ear or a fly or something. The others are gradually crescendoing and Scott just suddenly does it, which just adds to this overall strangeness in the music. But I think in quite a cool way. I'm choosing to use the word strange, but that's just me. I do find the original a bit strange, but that's not necessarily saying that I think it's bad. The chord itself here, again, it just adds to the strangeness. This is the chord that we're hearing. And if we take these notes and move them close together, we get this scrunch chord here. So there's all this kind of strangeness and tension going on, and then that leads into this bit.
'Cause I know about my love.
And then finally we get this moment where the tension is released. We get more standard harmonies, it's a bit more expected now what's going on. And Mitch's tone, it just suits it so well. Alright, I mean we listened to about 1 minute of music and there was a lot to talk about. So apologies for that, but I think let's carry on.
Yeah. Pick it fast like a fly far away from you. Fly away. Although I know I feel at home whenever you are near. Love my life like you better go get this. I wish you hold me open just to see your vision clear. 'Cause I know about my love. 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 'Cause I know about my love, 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 love. 'Cause I know about my love. 'Cause I know about my love. Ooh, 'cause I know about my love. Ooh, 'cause I know about my love. About my love, about my love. About my love. I will friends be mine. I'm going to be terrified. Please don't be so shy.
I got that wave of goosebumps towards the end there. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit confused. In terms of emotional roller coaster or how much I was enjoying different sections, it was going up and down. Overall, obviously it's Pentatonix. I think the arrangement is great, the performance is great. I really like the video as well actually, but some parts I definitely preferred to other parts. And I think it's the original song that confuses me. I'm still shocked after hearing it for the first time. But again, it's a testament to their arranging ability. As I said before, I don't think this is a song where you hear it and go, oh yeah, let's do that a cappella. It just seems so completely in a different world to a cappella. Right, well, let's just go over a few things from the second half there. From where we continued, there was a part that made me laugh. I like Kevin's part of the cheek slaps. That's not something you see every day. And it's also much easier to spot because of how exposed the arrangement is. In some of the other arrangements where it's quite busy, there's a lot of noise going on, you know, that probably... I can't do it, but you probably wouldn't be able to hear it. It wouldn't stand out. So there was one part in the original that I thought was interesting, which Pentatonix decide to omit. And that's this part here.
So just don't cut it.
Pentatonix go. So they don't have this call and response between the male and the female part or the lower and higher part. Instead, they choose to focus on homophonic kind of da-duns is the words that they're saying. Or la 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 la. It's more of a group feeling, this idea of unity. I guess with it being Valentine's Day, if we're to think metaphorically about love here, at the start it was very disjointed, conflicted, and now everything's together. You know, maybe there's been some resolution. And then we get this part with Mitch's super, super lovely high voice. We get a fuller sound now, and they're using multi-tracking because there are more voices being sung than there are people there. It's not just Kirsty and Avi providing the backing chords, which allows for Mitch and Scott to do this back and forth kind of thing whilst having this chordal foundation underneath. It keeps the harmonic progression going without making it sound empty, I think. Then Scott and Mitch keep going and they start singing in octaves. Again, this idea of separation now combining and being united. And then this bit in particular, look how tight Scott and Mitch are on this. So tight with those quick vocal embellishments. That's, yeah, wow. And then, of course, finishing with the opening section. Which, as I said, it gave me goosebumps there towards the end. I think it's because I've heard it before. And the first time I heard it, it was so catchy, but, you know, it's complex. You don't really get what's going on. But the second time round, I felt like I knew it at this point, and it gave me this kind of comfort. Right, well, let's leave it there. I didn't expect it to be as much of an emotional roller coaster as it was. I definitely had conflicted emotions throughout. I'm going to need to go back and listen to this many more times, and the original song as well. But yeah, overall, great arrangement, great performance, great video. It's just a sign of their great creativity. As always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you enjoy my videos and want to support me or join the community, you can do so by joining the Patreon or YouTube memberships linked in the description below, and I will see you next time.